You're watching Wilmington on CBS 10 WILM. Here's your host, Don Ansell.
All right, we're back. Our guest, if you've been watching, Tyler Newman. He's a legislative lobbyist with Business Alliance for a Sound Economy. Their acronym is BASE. And John Gainey is an insurance industry specialist. He's been in the insurance industry for over 30 years. Talking about these reserves, I just want to get back to this for a second before we move on. Some critics say that the insurance industry has been taking those reserves, the money that comes in that they put aside, and that they've built up over the years. They've been taking it out of the fund as profits, and that's why the industry is needing additional revenue. Comments?
I don't think that. I think it's a fact. I mean, they took $41 million out of the beach plan in 2006. That is a factual piece of information.
Is it unreasonable to expect that the insurance industry should make a profit in their business?
It's not unreasonable, but the problem is, at the same time they took the $41 million out, they're screaming, we need rate increases and we don't have adequate reserves in the beach plan. So how do you have it both ways?
And I think one of the benefits of the bill that's in the General Assembly now is it would keep them from taking that money out anymore, and it's going to keep the surplus and keep the reserve so it grows, so that if we have some sort of storm event, that money will be there.
So there'll be guidelines on how much they can take out?
Exactly right.
Which are not in place now?
Correct.
Exactly.
Okay. So let's talk about the legislature. It all got to the legislature. They kind of bit into it, and now there's a struggle in the legislature to kind of finalize a plan that will be law. Is that?
Yeah, we started out at the beginning of the session with bills that would have stayed the increases, both the homeowners insurance increases and the beach plan increases, and then those didn't get enough buy-in from folks in the middle part of the state. So this House bill,
because they're happy. They have, and in some cases their numbers would have gone down as far as what it cost them for homeowners.
And the perception is they're paying for our losses, which is not true.
How receptive were the legislators to intervening in this issue?
I think they've been extremely receptive to House Bill 1305 and the stabilization of the finances in the plan and some of the things, the benefits that are in the plan. There's some mitigation credits that homeowners will get if they put in storm shutters and things like that. It changes the deductible to 1% per named storm instead of the any wind event that we were talking about earlier.
In effect, though, the legislature has now positioned themselves up against the Department of Insurance. Is that a fair statement?
I don't know that I'd put it like that, but I think that they're legitimately looking for a workable solution.
And how cooperative have our local delegation been? Danny McComas, Carolyn Justice, Julia Bozeman, Sandra Spalding Hughes.
All of those, Senator Soules, Representative Dewey Hill, Representative Stiller when he was there, any legislator in the 18 coastal counties has been tremendously helpful, tremendously.
None of them hesitated to jump in?
Not a little bit. They understand the impact this is going to have on every citizen and has had on every citizen, and our local elected officials, New Hanover County, Pender County, Brunswick County, on up the coast, the Wilmington City Council, our beach towns, same thing.
One of the most contentious aspects of the negotiations has been the proposed $750,000 cap that the insurance industry wants on this beach plan coverage rather than the $1.5 million cap that was or is in place. Where does that stand, and how is it likely to play out?
Well, at the moment, the cap is still in place or would be in place. Hopefully.
What, the 750 is in place?
As the
in
legislation is currently written.
See.
We are still attempting to raise that back to the previous limit. Unfortunately, we have a lot of expensive homes in this area, and they're not just homes that people live in, they're mini motels. They're a major part of our economy.
So this is not only, this is right, this is industry as well. So
it really is.
It's a broad brush.
It's a coastal economics issue as much as it is anything else.
That's one of the sticking points. What are some of the others?
The raising the cap back up, they want to, the surcharges that were stayed in the legal arena are popping back up in this bill. We'd like to have those changed. There's a provision in the bill that would add surcharges to dwelling policies like the rental properties out on Wrightsville Beach and commercial properties.
When you say surcharge, what does that mean?
The surcharges that
it means an extra fee. It means it's
15 or 20. Instead of $1, you pay $1.15.
This is a difficult concept to understand. But when you buy a homeowner's policy, you're getting a 50% discount from what you would buy if you're getting it through the wind pool. So you're going to tack another 15% on a rate that's already 50% higher?
All right, so how is this likely to play out? Where is it in the House? Where is it in the Senate?
It's passed the House.
All right, so it's passed the House. So now we're halfway there, and with that $750,000 cap, right?
Correct. It is currently in the Senate. It was read in last week. It has to go to the Senate Commerce Committee, which may happen as soon as next week. We're still pushing for our 5 or 6 things that we need changed to get it in a place where we need it to be. And hopefully that happens before the budget is finalized and the legislature lets out for the session.
All right, and what most people want to know is, how's this going to affect me as far as cost? Are most people's costs going to go up, and by how much? I imagine they will go up. By how much?
My wind policy went up several $100s in spite of the fact that the surcharges and deductibles were stayed in the legal arena, because my base homeowner rate went up 30%,
so
and it's based one off of the other.
I don't know what's an average home. Let's say $200,000 home. Can you give us an idea of how much your beach plan will go up if you have a home of that value? I mean, is that easy to calculate, or am I asking a...
That's a very difficult question to answer, but it's easy to say that if you're on the beach, you pay 5 times what a homeowner in Charlotte would pay for the same coverage and the same house.
For base homeowner insurance.
Is that now, or will that be if this is approved?
That's even now.
That's now. Do you know how much more, if the plan, the way it's in place now, how much more I'll pay or you'll pay?
I don't, because I don't know how we're going to come out, but it could be 20 or 30% more.
Really? Will more coastal residents be required to buy this coverage?
I don't think it's not going to expand the coverage at all. There was a provision that everybody with a beach plan policy would have to have flood insurance, and we got that taken out on the house side. So that was extremely positive in saving people money. But this is going to impact, seniors, folks on fixed incomes, somebody that might have lost a job now. It's an increase that people don't need right now in this economy by any stretch of the imagination. And we're trying to get the word out to the citizens, that we're working on this. And it's something that they should be concerned about, and they can call their senators, call Senator Bozeman, Senator Soules.
Because it's up to the Senate now.
It is up to the Senate now.
The House is done. So if you have issues with this, what's coming down and how it's going to affect your pocketbook, call your senator. New Hanover County is Julia Bozeman.
Senator Soules.
R.C. Soules is Brunswick and
Columbus
County. And wherever you are within our viewing area. Thank you both for joining us. Great to meet you, and thanks for the work you're doing in Raleigh. If you'd like to watch Byline online, go to WILM-TV.com. Just click on the Byline icon when you get there. For Byline Wilmington, I'm Don Anselm. We'll see you next week.
You've been watching Byline Wilmington on CBS 10 WILM. Join us every Sunday morning at 11 as we explore the issues that concern you.